Trump straight up threatened to use military force to grab Greenland. Yeah, you heard that right. And Canada and France didn't just sit back. They hit back hard by planting their own flags and telling Washington loud and clear, "You can't have it." Can you imagine? Greenland only has about 57,000 people, the entire population of a small town. When Trump tried to buy their island, threaten their leaders, and bully their allies with tariffs, those 57,000 stood tall and said, "No way." Then came the scene nobody expected. Crowds marching to the US consulate wearing red hats that read, "Make America Go Away." They chanted, "Greenland is not for sale," as Canadian and French diplomats raised their own flags in the capital. But these weren't symbolic moves. These were permanent consulates, real diplomatic missions built to shut down any shot at American expansion once and for all. Trump had hoped for Europe's backing, but instead, he got a united front against him. NATO, for once, came together in total agreement, not with Trump, but against him. We're breaking down exactly how his Greenland threats backfired so hard they united NATO like never before. Why did Canada and France open their embassies on the very same day? What exactly did those 57,000 Greenlanders chant as they faced off with the Americans? And how did threatening your allies turn into one of the fastest and most humiliating diplomatic defeats of Trump's presidency? This is the explosive story of how Canada and France locked America out of Greenland for good. The latest updates are wild. Stick around because you won't believe how this ended. Friday morning in Nuuk, Greenland. Boom! 2 flag-raising ceremonies, same day, same bold message aimed straight at Washington. Anita Anand, Canada's foreign minister, proudly lifted the maple leaf over the brand new Canadian consulate and posted online, "I am en route to Nuuk for the opening of Canada's consulate, strengthening Canada's presence, partnerships, and leadership in the Arctic." Standing beside her Canadian Coast Guard ship Jean Goodwill, Canada's Indigenous Governor-General Mary Simon joined the ceremony as dozens of Inuit leaders from both Canada and Greenland gathered to witness history. The flag rose, the crowd cheered, and just like that, Canada officially planted its permanent diplomatic roots in Greenland. No temporary setup, no halfway gesture, this was permanent. And France wasn't far behind. Jean-Noël Poirier landed in Nuuk as France's very first consul general, making France the first European Union country to open a consulate in Greenland. He was joined by Christophe Parisot, the French ambassador to Denmark. Parisot told reporters, "The consulate is not just a symbol, but something very concrete to show cooperation and alliance." Then came the kicker. Parisot made it crystal clear. France fully respects the Kingdom of Denmark's territorial integrity and stands firmly against any American annexation. The timing couldn't have been more explosive. Trump had spent weeks threatening Greenland with military force, tariffs, and political blackmail, but instead of folding, Canada and France struck back with action. They opened consulates, raised flags, staffed offices, and locked in permanent opposition. Before that explosive Friday, only the United States and Iceland had consulates in Nuuk. But now, Canada and France have joined the scene, shaking up the Arctic game completely. Germany's already weighing whether to open its own, the Netherlands is exploring the move too, and Sweden's in deep discussion too. Every single new consulate is more than just a building. It's a vote against Trump's agenda. A vote saying Greenland deserves protection, Indigenous voices deserve respect, and NATO allies don't annex each other. Period. Trump wanted to box Denmark into isolation, but the move backfired hard. He ended up isolating America instead. And here's where it gets powerful. Mary Simon, Canada's Governor-General, isn't just a diplomat. She's an Inuk leader who grew up in Nunavik. She speaks Inuktitut fluently, lives and breathes Arctic life, and understands what's truly at stake. Instead of sending a representative, she made the trip to Greenland herself. That personal touch spoke volumes. She brought Inuit leaders with her, turning what could have been a quiet ceremony into a bold statement of Indigenous solidarity. During the Arctic Frontiers Conference, she declared, "Canada stands firmly in support of the people of Greenland, who will determine their own future. Another country should not interfere in a sovereign state." And then she proved it. Canada and Greenland share the world's longest maritime border. Their Inuit communities have spoken the same language, traded and connected for centuries. Iqaluit is just a 1-hour flight from Nuuk, closer than most Canadian cities are to each other. This is a daily lived connection. Natan Obed, president of Inuit Tapiriit Kanatami, shared powerful words. He said, "For many in the Arctic, it was hard not to see the threats looming over Greenland as a sign of what was to come. We are increasingly in the center of a geopolitical fight that is in our homeland, in our backyards." That truth hit hard. The Arctic isn't some empty chessboard. It's home. Real people live there, and their ancestors have been there for thousands of years, long before European explorers, before any American ambitions, long before Trump's real estate dreams ever took shape. The Inuit are speaking up loud and clear. Mary Simon and Natan Obed gave them voice, power, and visibility. Their stance against annexation wasn't just political, it was personal, cultural, and proud. And when France's new consul general spoke in Nuuk, he said it perfectly. It is a question of solidarity. Just like when you need friends, you just turn back and see who is there. And we are there as the French. It's not against, it's with. That's the phrasing, but the message is clear. France is standing with Greenland and Denmark, not sitting on the sidelines, but actively pushing back against American pressure. President Macron had actually announced plans months earlier, before the threats exploded across headlines. He made it clear that France would oppose any territorial claims. So when the crisis hit its boiling point, Macron didn't flinch. France went full throttle. They opened their consulate right in the middle of the showdown, on the exact day Trump was demanding European backing. Even as Trump threatened tariffs against France, Macron's government made their move. The timing was no accident. It was strategy. France will not be bullied. The French Foreign Ministry reaffirmed its commitment to Denmark's territorial integrity. Coming from a nuclear power, a permanent UN Security Council member, and a founding force of NATO, that stance shook the stage. France isn't just sending messages, it's locking in permanent relationships. They're building an alternative to US influence in the north. While diplomats drew plans, the people of Greenland made their stand in the streets. Nearly a quarter of the capital's residents walked through the freezing air, waving flags and chanting, "Greenland is not for sale." Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen led the march, his words cutting through the cold. Greenland is not for sale. It is not a toy. This is our home. Those red hats became symbols of defiance, reading "Make America Go Away." They sold out again and again, spreading the message worldwide. Protesters wore them across Greenland, in Copenhagen, and even in Canada. The slogan turned into a worldwide anti-Trump symbol, bold, loud, and impossible to ignore. Greenland is not for takeover. Marie Pedersen brought her 9-year-old daughter Alaska. The little girl held up a homemade sign that read, "Greenland is not for sale." Marie said it was important for her daughter to learn that you must speak up when someone tries to bully your home, even if that someone is another country. That image of a young girl spread like wildfire, a symbol of courage in the Arctic cold. Then came Malik, a 21-year-old student standing outside the US consulate when Trump suddenly announced new tariffs. Malik's reaction summed up the mood perfectly. "I thought this day could not get any worse, but it just did." Shows he has no remorse for any kind of human being. While Greenlanders braved the streets, Trump doubled down. America looked isolated. In a stunning moment of unity, every single political party in Greenland's parliament signed a joint declaration, something that had never happened before. Conservatives, liberals, independent supporters, they all agreed, "We do not want to become part of the United States. We do not want to be Americans." No confusion, just total rejection. Prime Minister Nielsen summed it up. When forced to choose between the US and Denmark, Greenland chose Denmark. Nielsen built his career on independence, but Trump's threats changed everything. Independence looked vulnerable, an opening for pressure. So for now, that dream is on hold. Staying with Denmark has become Greenland's shield.